Underdog Daily with the BadgeBros, Jon and Nez here. Monday, double header edition. There's just so much going on in the landscape right now that we got to break it into two shows. I think it also is a better setup to service the members here, are our paying viewing audience here that we have two, because this is a wacky and wild NBA slate. There's going to be tons of late news. There's going to be there's still injury reports that haven't been filed yet. I was just counting. There's 8 teams on back-to-backs. And then, of course, we had spring training over the weekend, too. So we're going to have ADP shifting landscape for the baseball stuff as well. Wanted to cover both of them. And I think this is a good way to do it today, Nez, with a little BadgeBros double dip.
Yeah. Got to get the members what they're paying for, the good content. So John's going to talk about all the ever shifting ADPs, all the overreactions that you need to take away from
Eddie Rosario
from a game in February. Yep. Yeah. So make sure you overreact.
Oh yeah. So good. Hey, for the record, not me today. For the record. Kind of me sometimes. Oh, good shit.
You were first. You were here first, so we'll give you that.
Yeah, it's true. Nez, want to hit on the slate from last night because we had some friends and family taking some stuff down there. Here for good content. I had to pause you in the middle there. He's like, bringing you the good content. I was like, we'll be bringing you content. How about that?
It's premium.
Yeah. Let me pull up. I didn't play yesterday, Nez. There we were smelling roses and such as a Sunday in a non football Sunday and a non MLB season Sunday. I'm inclined to throw the wife a bone, on a Sunday like that. So I didn't get whoa. So I don't get in the hoop streets on that day, but pretty wild slate, like some good basketball games over the weekend. Obviously, there was that Nuggets and Lakers one on Sunday night, which was just, kind of a statement one for Luka, I guess, that sort of deal. And then last night, man, SGA and Ant going toe to toe back and forth there in the late night hammer there was pretty cool. But did not find my way into the slate. So I got to pull up the screenshot courtesy of our friend, the ADP musher Jewish McCaffrey over there with last night's screenshot here. Because there's some friends and family at the top, man. We got to give Magic Carp some love there. We got to give B-Smurf some love there, who's always hanging out. And then, the top 2. That's all I'm giving love to today. But everybody up here is people we know.
No love to no Mike Zacks. Shout out, not the Verzicarian.
No, he just flirts with the top 10 every damn day. I'm sick of giving shout outs until he's at the top of the mountain, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
Shots fired. I was somewhere near there for a while. And then sharply dropped off after the Thunder and T-Wolves game kind of went a little nutty.
Yeah. We also give a shout out to Best Ball Viper there, who did work in the crossover streets last night, tagged us in that one. So yeah, good Sunday. I mean, NBA don't sleep, man. All the people are grinding on the weekends here. Yeah. Oh man. Out of bones to throw, my friend. Appreciate Pat Moore Poker joining up there. Ghost AF, member for 8 months. Love that stuff there. Nez, this is a wild slate, man. I counted 8 on the back-to-back there, obviously, before. And that's kind of omitting the fact that we got some really iffy spots with both Chicago and the Sixers there that were already kind of like pushed in the fold. Going to be on the wrong side of history with the Kawhi Leonard stuff. I put him on the thumbnail. Thought he would be playing basketball today after Norm Powell missed a couple. And second night of a back-to-back. I thought it was more of a hold him out for this evening kind of deal there. So wrong night side of history for that one. But how you feeling about this slate in general and where you're at in your draft process?
Well, we just lost 4 draftable pieces.
Again?
So, I mean, just what you just said.
Sure. Okay.
So that, I mean, those are 4 guys going every single time. and just got them ripped out of the player pool. So, and I was taking Kessler and Kawhi often, very, very often. So, gonna have a lot of swaps there, but I'm not mad about it. The swaps that are available today are really strong, so I'm not like totally upset about it. Would have much preferred Kawhi to play, but it is what it is. So I'm really waiting for, as we all are, Minnesota and OKC injury reports. They played last night in Minnesota. They're playing tonight in OKC. 12-point spread. So what are we gonna get there? Remains to be seen. Mm-hmm. So once we get that, then I think we can feel a little more comfortable. We'll feel pretty strongly Embiid's not going to play. That's how everybody's approaching it, at least. So once we just get that last game, then I can feel like pretty comfortable with the rest of this day.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you kind of hit on the Embiid situation as part of that. Obviously, the Utah stuff that got ruled out early, they're going to be without a whole bunch of pieces, which is pushing up Keynote right now. Keontae George is getting pushed up. Isaiah Collier's becoming a 6th round pick here. This is another one. Good one in the chat from Randy. This is happy double dribble advancement day? Question mark.
Yeah. It's actually the first day of the sprint pods. So the last day was
yesterday.
Night. Yeah. Yep. So they're advancing. Yeah, they're being advanced probably in the middle of the show.
Okay. Yeah. Well, don't have to worry about me because I have 0 advancing teams out of the 20 in which I did. Nez, did you fare any better than I did?
I was running really, really hot when Jalen Johnson was in the middle of balling, but he got hurt. He's on I have 15 advancing teams. I did 123.
Okay.
So yeah, Jalen. I had a lot of Raptors, and they were hurt all season. I have 5 teams that I think are pretty strong. So
okay, well that's pretty good.
I would, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Just getting that Jalen Johnson run out really hurt. I mean, that was just the smash of all smashes. So that was a bummer. And I ran hot too, I will say, on the Giannis take, where I had Giannis 101 for pretty much all double dribble season, 14% Giannis. So that came at the expense of Wemby. And obviously, he's out. I do wish I had more Jokic. I don't think I have any Jokic, but I do feel pretty good about having all that Giannis. Because at wing, I don't know how he's really going to get matched.
Right. Obviously, yeah. So that was
get matched too, but
that was always the thesis with the Giannis decision. There was that wing was so much thinner than big, and the positional scarcity argument was Giannis ahead kind of deal.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, that sounds pretty good. I'm seeing a lot of good stuff in the chat. 10 out of 50, 8 out of 36, 3 out of 7. That's the flex. 2 out of 33. You still got live bullets there. Yeah, no, this is good. Yeah. Advancement day for puck knowers as well. Good shout there too. Maybe, okay, I haven't even looked yet. Have those ones been advanced yet? We could check that in. Hold on. We got to see. I don't think I did a ton of best pucks. I don't even remember.
You got to click best ball.
Oh, classic mistake, eh? 22. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess the third places don't advance. We got 4 out of 22 in the best puck streets there. So we still got live. We got sweats here, Nez.
Now, there was some overlay too, so you might get some wild card. You might get some wild cards.
Ooh, here we go. I just became a full-fledged puck bro for the next couple weeks here. Yeah, cool. All right, let's move into the slate here. Nez, official injury reports ticking in here. Justin just dropped by in the chat to say Gobert out, which is going to bode well for new cover boy Naz Reid, the OG cover boy in which Nez wanted to begin with. And I said too late, already put Kawhi on there. Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be another potential Naz Reid night here. Although, as you mentioned, second night of a back-to-back versus OKC, the best defense in the league there. So yeah, we'll see thoughts on that one. But Yeah, before we do the game by game stuff, let's talk about the Q tags. Let's talk about the implications. I think the Embiid tandem with Maxey one. Maxey's a sprained finger. Embiid's going undrafted at times. I just rattled off 8 more right before we went, and Embiid's going flat ass undrafted. There was a conditional downgrade in the Discord for Unabated there, and they suggested like 30%. I'll read the actual quote. They downgraded him to 30%. Seems highly improbable he'll play, with the team strongly considering surgery or an extended rest period for his knee to heal. Will undergo testing early this week. So that was the official quote there. That does not sound bullish for him, but is there any merit to continue to click his name in the 6th round for the off chance that he does play, or for the swappability, or are you just pulling him out so you can diversify?
I don't have him in my ranks, but if you are somebody that's going to be active at lock with the swaps, should take Embiid in the 6th. But you just have to keep in mind you might get cucked on some swaps because there's a chance Maxey doesn't play with the finger, so he's going to get swapped. There's still more than 1 or 2 swap options, so it's not the end of the world that you don't get first swap with your Embiid pick. But I feel very, very confident that he's not playing today. So he does make sense as somebody just to take in case things open up in Minnesota, OKC potentially. So there's good reason to take Embiid just to remain on the clock.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's purely like a game theory leverage play at this point, opposed to trying to get in on Embiid, even though the spot would look pretty good on paper there. Nez, you alluded to the Maxey finger thing. I've seen him fall to 11. I've seen him fall to 12. I've seen him get taken as high as 3 or 4. It is pretty wide open after kind of like the Joker SGA tier. I guess you could maybe, based on the performance of last night with Cade as well there, lump him kind of as the secondary there. And then it's kind of wide open. If people thought, Kawhi was going to sit and Norm Powell was going to sit, that some people were pushing up Harden, but we didn't have an official injury report with that one yet either. So yeah, there was a lot of moving pieces. The people at ETR had Ball quite high as well there. So, that was pushing him up there. What were you kind of doing in that next tier associated with Maxey? Like, are you bullish on Maxey and that's leading you over that group, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Maxey quite a bit. It does things that I would consider to be good signals, such as the pick'em lobbies seem to indicate that Maxey's going to play. They have Embiid listed, but the Maxey projection clearly is one that bakes in Embiid not playing. In my opinion, so you're looking at Sixers -4.5 as well. So I think that also is very good news for Maxey's being in. So it seems like Maxey's going to play. So I have quite a bit of Maxey 1-2 turn, pretty much like auto click for me when it comes to Maxey. Ball's an interesting one. I know you kind of said like after that tier, but he's kind of like the same tier. He's slipping big time, obviously, because his last game was atrocious. The Hornets look terrible, but it's a good spot. So this is like a great time to just like be greedy while others are fearful and take some LaMelo Ball. I can't blame people for wanting to take Hero over Ball today. Okay. I can't blame people for wanting to take Hallie over Ball today, because we have not seen great basketball from the Hornets. The Kings are playing for a playoff spot. What are the Hornets playing for? Cooper Flag. So there is a chance that they actually get crushed, but the spot remains positive for the Hornets. I'm just saying, you guys have permission to be fearful if you want to be, because those games also look awesome.
Okay. Yeah, no, well put there. I think that's a good synopsis of like that kind of range. Yeah, the blanking on the guys in that range. If you go ahead there, I'll go back to my screen here. Trey and Hero. I mean, they both balled the F out last night as well too. So the box score lurkers, as soon as you hit this drop down menu on LaMelo and you see what's been going on here, or you look at Trey and you see 38s all across the board in terms of real life points, there, and then you start looking at Tyler Hero with the 47 and 11 from last night. Yeah, there's probably good reason why, he's falling in certain draft rooms, right?
It's totally understandable. Totally understandable.
Okay, Nez, I gotta ask. I think this is a good way of doing it today because there is a lot of dynamic and fluidity atop the draft board. There is everywhere on this slate, depending on how you're playing it. But atop the draft board, in particular, in my estimation, is it just kind of like a 1, 2, 3 for you, and then you can kind of like, if we break it into tiers, is it like 3 here, 1, 2 with Sabonis and Edwards, and then the next kind of like 4, 5, 6 is a tier for you?
So, I mean, this might be a bit of a. I mean, it's going to be a hot take, I think, for a lot of people. I have Sabonis behind Trae Young, behind James Harden, ahead of Anthony Edwards.
Interesting. Okay, so you got Trae up here, and you got Harden up here.
I do. Yeah. And I have Harden 4th for the moment because I was taking Trae 4th all morning, and then the Clippers news hit. Now I have Harden 4th.
Yeah, I think that's what the hashtag models are going to suggest to you. Like, I maybe I wouldn't be autoing like this right now, but if I was hand drafting and I had these ranks in like this, and I would be trying to capitalize on as much Harden as I could get, coupled with one of those back end pieces right now. You know what I mean? So maybe you take Sabonis first, and then Harden's more likely to fall unless you're in there, like just knowing your player pool kind of thing. Because the days of like pick 7, 8, 9 Harden are long gone now.
Yeah. Way gone. And the Pistons have just been so awesome for fantasy these last couple weeks. And now we have the Clippers without Powell and Kawhi, so that makes them like more vulnerable as well. I'm really excited for this Clippers Pistons game.
To your point there, Nez, they played the Hawks, the Spurs, the Bulls, the Hornets, and the Sixers. That is kind of like fantasy madness. Like that is all fantasy goodness there. But every single one of those games, like I'm just doing some bro science math right now, and I'm not that smart, so stay with me. But like this is a 235. Last night was 148 to 143, which is insane versus the Hawks. But the one before that was like, 238, 238, 230 and a bit, 220 and a bit. Like, they've been playing to these high totals.
Yeah, and they're exceeding them too. So I mean, there's the Pistons are playing some fun basketball, man. They seem to be clicking right now. So they're favored here against the Clippers at home. Both teams on a back-to-back. I'm excited about this game. I know the total's low. It's the lowest one on the slate, but like I'm not like too worried about the fantasy pieces that we're drafting from this game.
Good question from Justin here in the chat. This is a evergreen reminder for everybody with swaps and stuff. Nez and I are actually working on some stuff behind the scenes that will address these kind of questions in the future. But yeah, he's asking basically if the 7 p.m. Eastern games, what window in which he will swap with. It's all relative to when he is designated out. So if he receives an out tag prior to that 7 p.m., he will then swap in that first window of 7 p.m. But if his game doesn't tip until 7:30 and he gets ruled out after that 7 and gets the out tag at 7:08 or whatever, something like that, as soon as he receives that out tag, he becomes swap eligible for the next time window. So in theory, if you guys were sitting at your computer with your piss jugs, grinding these games optimally, you'd be rechanging your ranks every half an hour window in case something happens, right?
Yeah. It's quite time consuming, but to do it and to be sweaty, it pays off.
Yeah, it's the post lock Sims of our site, basically. Okay, cool. All right, I think that's pretty good. Nez, I guess I could ask about this next tier here. with like the Ant Sabonis, Maxi, you said the ball, you wouldn't fault anyone. Is there anyone behind like Bridges, Bam, Zubac now with the other guys ruled out that you're pulling up into this tier? Or is it kind of like Hallie, Hero, Ball is line in the sand for you?
Bam has an argument.
Okay.
But otherwise, this is that's a pretty strong tier, and then Bam can get into the club sometimes.
Okay, sounds good to me. Anything funky you're doing, because this is a classic Joker slate? Anything funky you are doing with Jokic at 101 there to kind of flip your combos, do something different than the field right now?
Yeah, I'm stacking Jokic with either Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. pretty often. So
okay, interesting. All right.
If Michael Porter Jr. or if Jamal Murray, no Michael Porter. If no Jamal, pull up Michael Porter. MPJ goes undrafted.
Yeah,
it's just like well known that his spikes coincide with Jokic spikes. And this, I mean, what a better spot than the Pacers for these guys. I just like disagree with the Jamal Murray pick'ems right now. I think great spot. Maybe median outcomes, the pick'ems are efficient, but as far as like ceiling outcomes go, which is really what we're playing for here, Jamal Murray, awesome ceiling, and not a lot of people want to pair Jokic with a teammate, in my experience, and not a lot of people want to pull up Jamal Murray to that 2-3 turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah, very well said there, Nez. Unknown dropping by every 76er sitting.
Ooh, unknown. That's creepy.
That's mysterious, dude.
Spooky. They're gonna forfeit the game. They're not even gonna play the game.
Is unknown Terry Rozier?
Adam Silver's about to come in here and pull him off the internet. He's gonna unplug the Ethernet cord. It's gonna go silent.
Oh shoot. Okay, cool. I think we can move over to the beautiful unabated interface here and start going game by game. I want to start with, we could start with any of these four, but I think I want to start with Nets and Wiz because it's the game in which probably means the least to us. There's like a couple pieces going, and I want to leave the light on that we get an injury report in 3 minutes with some updates to some other stuff here. So let's start with Nets and Wiz. This is obviously pace down spot for the Wiz, pace up spot for the Nets. Nets play some very slow basketball. They're going to be without D'Angelo Russell for a bit here. They're 4-point road favorites against the Wizards, which is really illuminating to how fucking bad the Wizards are.
You're 4-point dogs at home?
To the Nets.
Oh, my God.
Without D'Lo, to the Nets without D'Lo. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Man. Oh, down so bad. Down so bad on the Derek Whitehead bags from double dribble season.
Wow.
So we got Claxton listed available. No Clowney, no Russell, no Cam Thomas, no Melton, no Whitehead. And then on the Wizards side, Brogdon out, and then Alex Sarr questionable. I guess in defense of the spread here, Nez, that I like kind of lost sight of in my mind for a half second, they do now have Middleton starting. They do now have Marcus Smart getting some minutes back up, like that sort of thing. So like the Wiz are a little bit better of a basket. Oh, wait, never mind. They're 4-point dogs still. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's hilarious. That's
oh,
great.
Geez.
It's great stuff.
That's comedy, dude. Holy. Oh, I can't get over that right now. Nets saw the return of Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes, shout out to him for the lower on the pick'ems on Saturday night there. We went 4 out of 5, so close there, Nez, with some Portland and net stuff there. But yeah, basically Claxton's going every draft, which is kind of surprising. Obviously, we like the spot. Centers versus the Wiz is always been a narrative. His minutes have ticked back up in recent memory, which is nice to see. But kind of this ball game in general, it's just Poole and Claxton going. Do you like either of them at ADP? Do you like any other pieces? Do you just wave the lowest total on the slate?
I don't have a lot of Cam Johnson right now. Do worry about him, but does seem to be a decent scoring option for them. So I'm a little worried about fading him, but I got a pretty strong fade on him. I am taking Nick Claxton though. His minutes have been really strong lately and in a great spot, so he feels fine to take. And then on the Wizards, man, it's just Jordan Poole, and I am mixing in Jordan Poole here and there, just because the Jordan Poole ceiling is just like it's the most annoying thing in the world, where he can just like absolutely destroy a slate and be a have to have it guy. And even in a 217 total, even with Smart and Middleton playing here and Koulibaly, like he can still just be that annoying ass guy. So I'm not totally fading him.
Okay. Sounds good. We just got news on the right-hand side of the screen there that you guys can see that Chet has been ruled out here. Second night of a back-to-back. I think most of us were playing Chet out, and that's why I had J-Dub on the cover, but just interesting to note, he was going in the 6th round. Sometimes there, we'll talk through that 1.5 minute there. Nez, to your point, the Claxton stuff, I'm a little scared that we're just box score chasing, and it's just because the stocks have come back all of a sudden. He is known as a defensive guy. He was Defensive Player of the Year candidate at one point in his career. I guess that would have been 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that. Yeah, I'm a little worried that it's like, 30 minutes, 23 minutes, 32, 28, 35. That looks solid. That looks returning to his starter form in terms of like what they gave the contract to. But it's really his fantasy box scores have been propped up quite heavily by like 5 blocks, 5 stocks, 5 blocks, 4 stocks, 4 blocks, 2 steals. Like it is quite a bit. I don't know. It feels a little chasey to me right now. Like when I see a guy like Claxton, I think about it in the terms of like Miles Turner. In those, like when Miles Turner is pick ADP 25, I don't draft him. When Miles Turner's pick 35, I draft him, and vice versa with Claxton. Am I crazy for that?
I don't think you're wrong for like thinking that it's a very volatile stat for sure. Mm-hmm. But I try to, and it's probably not the best, but just think about it from just like fantasy point outputs and like, okay, he's playing the Wizards, man, and he's getting minutes. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to assume that he's going to have like 4 stocks today. And probably like a stronger double-double candidate than usual is kind of how I think about it. But like, I don't disagree by like that analysis at all. Like, I think the floor is pretty bad for Nick Claxton for sure.
Yeah, he's just like one of those archetypes of players that scares me when he goes every single draft, where it's like, his band of like even these outlier in quotation stocks games, he is a good stock per game guy, or historically has been. But like these bands of like, even when he's hitting close to stock ceiling at 5 or 6 there, like he's still only putting up like 40 something fantasy points. Like I think I'd rather have Keontae George this evening than that, and he goes 10 picks later kind of deal.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, but, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right on that. I'm still taking Nick Claxton. Do not disagree with your contention though, at all. No, I think you're right.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to next one here. Let's do Clippers and Pistons. Both teams on a back-to-back there. Pistons a 1.5 point home favorites here. This is a 221 total, which is a little lower than what we were saying with all that fantasy goodness that we were alluding to with Detroit earlier there. Yeah, we've really seen Cade come. I mean, like Cade has gone through. Is he maybe the most underappreciated player in the league this season? Like he is, this team, not much was expected from them. They've been buzzing since Christmas. We keep using that as like the artificial benchmark. It was actually like a week before Christmas, something like that. Like this team is in playoff contention, not just play in contention, but could clinch a playoff spot contention there. Like, is he just renowned the most underappreciated young star in the game right now?
I think you could make a pretty strong argument for it. Yeah, definitely. The Pistons are in a great spot. They're probably going to get a pretty nice playoff seed where they're live to make it to round 2, which would be insane. We're not too far removed from the Pistons just being dog water. So this is really cool to see. And start of the year, man, we were taking Cade in like the second round.
Right.
I mean, those early lobbies, man, that was a lot of fun. That was like edge number 1 on the year was take a whole bunch of Cade and see what happens. That was fun.
Yeah, this is kind of more or less my point here, Nick, where it just really hurts national media recognition, the fact that he's on the Pistons. Like, I think the national perception of the Pistons is like they're just not good. Like they're closer to the Nets and the Wizards than they are, and the Bulls than they are to like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I think that's the national perception, right?
Yeah, I think based on the argument you were making, I think you're right. Like, I mean, yeah, definitely.
I don't know 100% how NBA like ESPN scheduling works for like game slots and stuff like that later down the season, like when they can start flexing and stuff like that. But man, I want to get these guys flexed to Natty TV instead of these fucking Sixers on national television over and over again, where you're dealing with all the Q tags and then they just get curb stomped in a shitty game with like a 118 total. Like, let's get the Pistons on national TV once in a while. Get this guy some limelight.
You got League Pass up there?
Well, of course I got League Pass, but I watch it all the time. I'm just saying,
you're saying you want the
I want the shine. I want the shine for the kid, man. Yeah. Like, and I wanted him to get some burn in the All-Star game so people could see. And like, he played like 4 minutes in like the first game or whatever. He was like the last guy up before Ant Edwards, who didn't even play. Like, I just kind
of people don't know about Cade's bag. Like he's filthy, dude. He's filthy.
Yeah. Okay, let's focus on this game here, Nez. Obviously, we got the Kawhi and the Norm Powell outs early. Coupled with that is also the Ben Simmons out tag there, and then all the G Leaguers listed alongside them. And then on the Pistons side, Simone Fontecchio has a Q tag, and then the usual suspects, the Jaden Ivey leaving the light on for him in the future, and all the G Leaguers there. So they're pretty close to full. Any draftable pieces outside of Cade, Harden, and Zubac from this one?
Cade, Harden, Zubac.
You like Duren?
Yeah. I keep forgetting Duren is like draftable now. I do like Duren. I do like Duren. He's keep saying it that he's now available to be drafted. Was not the case early in the season. So Duren is in my player pool for sure. Clippers wise, no, it's just Harden and Zoobs, but I like Harden and Zoobs quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's entirely fair there. Cade versus Harden today. Is that a stopgap for you? You'll still be on the Cade side of history?
Yes. Yes. I am still Cade 3.
Okay. Okay, Wet Like Book bringing up a good point here that people in Detroit don't even watch the Pistons. That barn is got to be one of the snooziest, sleepiest in the league. Like, every time I put on League Pass, it's half full. Their announcer is the oldest fucking dude on planet Earth. He's so boring. So I do think there is like these incremental things that add up to the perception of a ball club from like the outside looking in. And I think those two are very relevant, like real ones. But that whole script can be flipped on its head when the Pistons beat the Knicks in the first round of the postseason there. I love that.
That would be a story.
Okay, cool. No other scrolls for you, like Noah Sarr Thompson or anything crazy like that in the last round here. I mean, Clippers obviously not a great spot to find opposing players. Bogdan's been playing more minutes recently, kind of fun to see. Hopefully he's able to turn his season around there. I think he got up to 27 last night. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything worth going to, because there are going to be minutes available, especially on the Clippers side.
Yeah, I'm not going to anybody else from this game.
Okay.
Just the guys that I mentioned, those 4 here.
Okay,
but,
cool.
I do like those 4 quite a bit.
Sounds good to me, bro. Where do you have Duren currently ranked in your ranks?
Pretty close to ADP. I've got him. There's not a whole lot of people. I have like Keontae George ahead of him.
Okay.
And that's it. So basically at ADP.
Do you have Monk ahead of him?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you kind of still got him in this 27, 28, 29. I did notice when I was hand drafting some this morning that it was kind of a sticky spot with Duran, where it was kind of like as soon as people felt more comfortable clicking Claxton and Paul George first, and then it was kind of like, okay, now people are going to start scrolling and getting weird. It seemed like a little bit of a hand drafter tier break. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. Sounds good to me, bro. Let's move on here to Nuggets and Pacers. Highest total on the slate here, the 246. Nuggets as 4.5-point road favorites here. We got probable tags, which the Nuggets are prone to do there. Let me pull the listing real quick. Probable tags on Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray. They are still without Peyton Watson. Which just kind of makes the minutes off the bench a little safer for Russell Westbrook, and maybe some Christian Brown first unit run feels a little safer that they don't have like that other guy to go to. But he doesn't truly factor in all that much there. I do like that the Nuggets have gone back to, just from a real life basketball standpoint, they had been rolling prior to that Lakers game on Saturday night. I think, what was it, 9-1 in their last 10. Something like that. But they went back to that Aaron Gordon starting lineup without Westbrook. And Westbrook was fun for fantasy for like a little bit, but their team is so much better with Christian Brown on the court and with Aaron Gordon starting alongside him. So anyways, outside of Joker, first overall, then you get the classic, is it a Hallie night? Who knows? Maybe it could be a Hallie night, because my guy TJ McConnell, the made of steel nails man himself, drew a Q tag. That has to be a real Q tag. If TJ McConnell has a Q tag, it may as well be an out tag. He is so tough. But Nez, just asking you kind of ADPs from this ball game outside of the obvious Joker at 1.
Yeah, I mean, against the Lakers, I had like 60% Aaron Gordon. He was like going in the last round every time. And man, he crushed in the first half. Didn't do quite as much in the second half, but that was I felt very, 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 very good about that stance. He's definitely like pick 36 draftable today. People just like were not, it was a much shorter slate then, and people just did not quite understand the slow ramp up that was happening for Aaron Gordon. He's not dust. He was hurt, and they've been ramping him up slowly. And it was pretty obvious at post All-Star break, his minutes were coming back, and now he's, firmly back in that starting lineup. So shout out Aaron Gordon, pick 36, draftable. I like this spot for the Pacers. This is a massive total here. Pacers run deep, but like you said, McConnell, one less piece to be rotated in.
Potentially. I'm being facetious.
He got hurt last
but
game,
he did get hurt last night. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually do think that he sits.
Okay.
Yeah. So Siakam, Hallie, and Miles Turner, I really like today. All at ADP.
Mm-hmm.
Really think they're great picks. And then I kind of mentioned earlier, the Nuggets and their pieces, I think, are great picks as well. Aaron Gordon, very last pick, late 6th rounds, draftable. Michael Porter, I would pretty much only take with Jokic, just how I like to play him, just to get a unique piece with Jokic. And then, no Christian Brown, but those 4 for the Nuggets, I think, are all really good picks.
Okay. Any love for Russell Westbrook, or is that dream dead now that it's purely off the bench and kind of seems like it's capped in that 27-ish minutes range?
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault you for that one. I think that one kind of ran its course. I think he's a good additional piece for a team that needs, some second unit handling and scoring off the bench, and needs that burn, especially in a trailing game script, to kind of like push you back into it. But like, good professional basketball player off the bench, that's the perfect role for him at this point in his career for a contending team.
Yeah, he might have been running hot from 3 too. When he was playing, like I remember, it seemed like he was making a lot of threes whenever he was playing early on, and he shot
that
like
ain't
shit
him
against LA. No, it's not.
that ain't him. It's Rajon Rondo shoots
like
threes.
Roto Run.
Whoa.
He's too strong. Got too much strength.
He's got too much mass up top. He's drinking his protein shake. Last night's champ dropping by. What up, Magikarp? Congratulations, my friend. Give you a little love off the top there. All right, Nez, let's do it. This is going to be the messy one. This is the second highest total on the slate here at 234.5. Sixers are still 4.5 point favorites here against, I guess, the lowly Chicago Bulls there. If we're looking at a half-baked version of the 76ers here, and they're still faves. I just realized I'm sharing the wrong screen. Only I'm seeing this. Yeah, and then the Bulls, man, still without Io, so he's got the out tag there, and still without Patrick Williams. So that like kind of 4-3-4 rotation there is, looking a little different. Kevin Huerter played a lot of minutes last night or Saturday night. They're one of the teams that aren't on a back-to-back. So I guess it was Saturday night there. But we got Vooch and Kobe White with probable tags. Those probable tags are not created equal because the Kobe White probable tag we had when the injury report was submitted initially last night, and then now it's been an additive to the Vooch probable tag today. So a little bit of Windhurst for me, just noting that it was an addition, not an original filing, is always just something for me. And then on the Sixers side, we talked about it. We gave the Embiid update off the top. We gave the unabated conditional, has it down at 30% there. The old guys are still out in Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry. Maxey has the sprained right finger. Of note that it is his shooting hand. And yeah, that's all I got on that one. As Paul George played 40 minutes last night on the front end of a back-to-back. How we treating this ball game?
It's an ugly one. It's an ugly one for sure. But still a 234.5 total. And like I said, I think that spread to me says Maxey's playing. Okay. So I'm taking Maxey, but I got a pretty good feeling this is going to be game time decision label. So you can probably get some 2-3 turn Maxey if you wait for the game time decision to strike. That's my prediction. And that would be pretty massive because I do think he plays, and it's against the Bulls, and Maxey looks incredible in this spot with presumably no Embiid. So, I mean, I like it on a lot of levels here.
Let's do the exercise. Yeah. Let's do the exercise. Right. We're taking Embiid out of our rankings, and we're taking the Q tag off of Maxey. Knowing what we know right now, Maxey or Harden, like assuming that scenario.
Maxey. Okay. Maxey goes 3.
Maxey goes ahead of Cade Cunningham for you.
Given those factors, those hypotheticals, 100%.
Okay. Where does Paul George go for you?
Like 27, 28.
So still where he is. Because he's going to project way higher than that.
Sort of. He already projects like okay, but and that's given. I think the projections have Embiid out in the pick'ems, and then they also have Embiid pick'ems just because people might play them. I mean, dude, Paul, there's something up with Paul George, man. It's more than just Embiid in the lineup. I think that Paul George has got something going on.
I don't draft podcasters. That's incredible. Yeah, Wet Like Book saying Maxey was going 2-3 turn last night. I saw him go 2-3 turn this morning as well when I was in the 6 hole there, and I did a Harden plus whoever. I guess it was Ant or something like that, and then falls back to the other side of the board, the Maxey Q tag. So these Maxey Joker teams will kind of be the GMs of today's generation if we do wind up getting which is kind of another bull case for pushing him up to 3, because at least then you'll get different combinations than the Joker teams if you're competing against like quote unquote super teams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's think about back end 76ers pieces here, Nez. Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre in the last round.
Yeah, they're definitely viable. Definitely viable.
I think they're both good 6th-round clicks right now. I think when everybody else is chasing Utah shit, to play some of those guys feels really good.
Yeah, I don't know who I like more, but I think they're both really good picks.
I think the recent box scores will lend people to click Grimes instead of Oubre, and maybe rightfully so. I mean, he's been a really nice addition for them, like breath of fresh air addition for them when everything around that organization seems so melancholy outside of that, right?
I mean, like, that was such a dumb trade by the Mavericks.
By the Mavs, yeah. Well,
they're lucky. They're lucky the Luka trade overshined it. Because I mean, like, what was the reason?
Right.
What was the reason? And how does Caleb? I don't understand how Caleb Martin even passes the physical.
Right.
When after that trade, it's so confusing. It's so confusing. Grimes was clearly balling with the Mavs, like clearly like a strong contributor. No reason to do that trade, and now he's putting on good ball on tape for the Sixers.
Hilarious real life basketball comparison. Mark Williams, who's playing like 35 a night leading up to the trade, fails physical. Caleb Martin doesn't play basketball at all, passes physical on trades. Like, you know what I mean? It's just okay, I guess. Okay, let's talk about the Bulls side here. Nez, Giddey has a very frothy ADP in that like 13, 14 range. Sometimes get paired with Joker at the 101 there. He's got some nice box scores in recent memory here. He's got the 54 ball and a 60 ball in back-to-back outings for them. Makes sense that the handling and rebound rates are up without Io and Patrick Williams, and that'll be more of the same this evening there. A guy that I took a couple times in the 6th round earlier, Kobe White, with the probable tag going undrafted, had 38 fantasy points last time out there. What are you doing with Vooch and Giddey, and is there any other Bull that you want to get to, i.e. Kobe White?
I've got like very little Vooch. He's fine at like pick 2021-ish.
Okay.
I'm not taking Vooch right now, but I am taking Giddey. I am taking Giddey with no IO. So I mean, Lord knows this will be the day that he puts up less than 30 fantasy points, but I'm taking Giddey here. This spot seems decent. You know, no Embiid, game a little bit faster. I mean that's an assumption, of course, but yeah, assuming no Embiid, game faster. So I like Giddey, mixing him around ADP. There's a pretty big tier, solid tier where Giddey goes, but I'm mixing him in for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the shout from Run Good Rook. I was thinking similar there. I like your note on the pace metrics. We've talked about the pace up with Maxey, without Embiid, without Paul. The on-off splits are going to be really hard to parse through because I don't know how many games have they played with Maxey and George, and then now factoring in Grimes too, without then starting Embiid or having Drummond splits, because that's what slows it down, right? So it's going to be really hard to think that through. So like if you're just looking through like splits, like on-off splits, so just anecdotally stating that like, yeah, they're going to play faster without Embiid just makes sense, right?
Yes.
Yeah, here, there you go. Grimes probably complained about the Luka trade. There you go. We got the Sam Olsen stamp of approval taking Grimes last night. You gotta love that. Okay, cool. Hawks and Heat here, Nez. You sounded overly bullish on Trey. I mean, 3 straight games of 38 real life. Yeah, I mean, he's putting up almost 50 fantasy points every single time there. He goes in the first round, kind of rightfully so. Looking for Atlanta. Where's Atlanta? Yeah. Okay, both teams, second night, back-to-back here. They lost Nikola Jovic last night to a broken hand, so he's going to be out for a while here. Kev Love has already been ruled out. We got probable tags on Tyler Hero and Khalil Ware in this one with not overly concerning designations, both soreness, right shoulder and left ankle. And then on the Hawks side, still without Larry Nance and still without Vit, obviously, RIP Jalen Johnson this season there. So, yeah, I mean, outside of the obvious here, Trey goes at the 1-2 turn there every single time. Are you pushing up Bam? Are you pushing up Hero? Are you getting to any sixth round Okongwu and Ware and maybe Andrew Wiggins? What are you thinking here, Nez?
Yeah, a lot of good pieces in this game. I am, like I said, very bullish on Trae Young. So I got a lot of Trae Young here. I think Dyson Daniels fine here as well.
I missed Dyson too, yeah.
Yeah, Dyson a good pick. Onyeka, I haven't clicked his name yet, but he continues to just have a pretty solid role right now in this, this new phase of Onyeka season. It continues to remain strong. And then on the on the Heat side, the Heat are really interesting here. I think Hero is a smash.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bam is a smash. I think Wiggins is a smash.
Ooh.
And I think Ware is really sneaky too.
Okay.
This team right now, all these guys just look incredible to me in this game here. So I'm gonna have quite a bit of this game, obviously, by the sounds of me speaking about it. And I think it also helps that it just seems like the Heat are not playing slow, boring games anymore. They are just not that team that we need to avoid, like maybe in the past, like we may have thought with the Miami Heat. Like their games are just not quite as bad as they once were for fantasy. At least this is my vantage point of it from the draft lobbies. So I'm very into this game. Very into this game. Wiggins for me is going to be my number one swap for all of the Kessler and all of the Kawhi that I need to swap for. He's number one on that list for me right now.
Okay. He played a very strong 40 versus the Bucks last time out there yesterday. So yeah, coming off 40 yesterday, 20 real life points there. Obviously, we talked about Hero having the crazy game mixed in there, but 40 minutes is just so effing encouraging. They ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 last night, and one of them was Jovic, and he broke his hand in the end of the second quarter after 15 minutes. So they ran 8 guys the rest of the game, and 2 of those guys, Rozier and Slow-Mo, played under 10 minutes each. Wow, that's fucking condensed.
Love it.
Yeah, second night of a back-to-back, man, those probable tags, they have to play them. This team is fighting for play-in contention level stuff with Atlanta right now. They're going to have to play their guys big minutes tonight. Again, in a pace-up environment. I guess Jaime Jaquez should be mixing in more, but he's a coach's decision, DNP. Haywood Highsmith randomly starts sometimes, but that's gone away since they've done the Ware Bam thing over and over again. It seems like Davion's just the guy to start now. Huh. Is there anyone else to get to on this game?
No, I think these 4 for Miami. Pretty much everybody on the screen. Who was it? How about Gorgeous Niang playing 35 minutes against the Pistons and put up 27?
Wow, Niang. He's it's what I've always said, as just trade away Hunter and get Niang. It makes so much sense. I've always said it. I always said 6th man of the year, just swap the 6 men,
And Ricochet in that track meet played 30 minutes against the Pistons as well. 30 fantasy points against the Magic, 42 against the Pistons. I'm not taking him here, but keep your eyes peeled on Ricochet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that. I mean, they have all the reasons in the world to see what they have in him down the stretch, right?
Yeah, why not? You get literally nothing to lose. You should probably get this guy some NBA experience as much as possible.
Give the 101 some burn with the ball in his hands, for fuck's sake. Levert, second night of a back-to-back, getting an increased handling. Anything exciting there?
Nothing trustworthy.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Just McCaffrey chiming in with our first draft on him. Thank you so much. He says, Nez, I missed your swap advice last a month. Hypothetically, would you swap 100 lineups to the same Jazz player if projection warranted, or smooth it out a bit?
Well, you don't necessarily have the luxury of choosing it, but if a Jazz player is the best projecting player, it's going to be pretty high in my swap ranks. That's just the way it is. Now, if there's, let's say hypothetically that Jazz player plays at 9 p.m. or at last game of the night. And let's say I have 2 Q tags. One I know I'm swapping, another one's a late, out. I'll do the Jazz swap, see what I got, and then maybe adjust for a different player. If that second Q tag has not yet changed to an out, once it hits to an out, maybe I'll smooth it out. It depends on obviously slate context, but if it can be done, I do tinker. If I'm not trying to just go nuts.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, well put. I very agree with your line of thinking there. Obviously, I love that the question was fully addressed to you, because they just know I would just jam some idiot player for 100% exposure. That's what I would do, guys. Like, yeah, I would just, TJ McConnell? Yup, here we go. Leverage.
There's your answer.
All right, Nez, we ready to move on to the next ball game? Here we got Minnesota Timberwolves and OKC Thunder. They're playing the second night of a back-to-back versus each other, a home and home. This one at home for Oklahoma City. This is 12.5 point favorites there, a 228.5. No Rudy Gobert yet again, as you can see on the right-hand side. No Chet Holmgren, who was occasionally going in the later rounds, which makes me like J-Dub a little bit more. Nothing crazy, but makes me like him a little bit more. Obviously, there's still Hartenstein there. But basically, we only have Ant Edwards and Naz Reid in our player pool right now on the T-Wolves side. And then on the Thunder side, it's SGA, then J-Dub, and then maybe I've seen Hartenstein go like one time in the last round. First question I'm going to ask is, does Hartenstein deserve to be drafted more frequently than that on this slate? And is there any other T-Wolf to get to in the later rounds?
Yeah, definitely. Hartenstein should definitely be drafted.
Okay.
In this slate for sure. Okay. Other T-Wolves, there's definitely a handful of T-Wolves that can be drafted here. Ant, Naz, for sure. And then like Jaden McDaniels, definitely draftable. And that's it. But like Jaden McDaniels is certainly in my player pool.
Okay. I like the addition to the player pool there. There is a non-zero chance that this could break kind of funny too. We are probably going to get their official submissions in 20 minutes here. Like, obviously we already have the Chet out, but we don't have anything full official because the injury report's on every other half hour. So they're both not submitted right now in quotations, but we just know that Rudy Gobert and Chet Holmgren are out right now.
Are they not? Because if they because they do have like players listed on the
it'll come
the latest.
Through. I'm looking at 130 right here.
They have what? Interesting. I'm seeing. I guess I'm from the future because I have like a 230 one.
Oh yeah, 231. Yeah. Okay, we got official from them. My bad. I was behind in time there. Okay, we're good. Yeah, just the Randall and Dante, Jalen Clark, Q tag, and yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right. So that's helpful because I was really worried about Ant.
Yeah, popping up with a Q tag after he's been dealing with that Q tag. He played through the Q tag 4 straight games, but he still had it.
Yeah, and the fact that the spread was 12, not 12, 12 and a half in North Dakota, but 12, it's massive. I mean, both these teams are on a back-to-back, but one is at home, so it just seems like a huge spread. But one team's at home, the other isn't, so I guess that's why.
Okay. Anything else to say on that one? Outside of Jaden McDaniels and Isaiah Hartenstein as 6th round scribbles?
No, not really.
Do you like? Maybe I gotta ask you. Do you like J-Dub and do you like Naz Reid higher than ADPs currently are?
I think they're both like very good at ADP. I don't. Okay. I think maybe. I think both could be taken ahead of ADP, but I don't think it's a must.
Who do you prefer between those two? Because they do go pretty close to each other.
Yeah. I think I think I'm a Naz Reid guy, but with them being such big dogs, it's tough.
Let me that's the thing. Let me channel my inner Caleb Presley. Do you want to do a new segment sponsored by Rotorun?
Okay.
It's called Rank These Guys. Pascal Siakam, Dyson Daniels, Naz Reid, and J-Dub.
Naz Reid, J-Dub, Siakam, Dyson.
I think I agree with you. Yeah. I think I like the reason I wanted to frame it this way is I think I wanted to hear you tell me that where I had Naz and J-Dub was smart. That's what I was thinking there.
I mean, it's so wild that this is the Naz Reid has been steamed up every the last 5 slates, and now he's finally he's finally at a good buy value. Like last night he's going 2-3 turn. I can't take Naz Reid at the 2-3 turn, and then he's here's 48 fantasy points. Shit.
Yeah, he's a fucking hooper, dude. He's a hooper. And when Gobert's
I was on Naz Reid so early too. It's so annoying. Ever since he was at LSU, man, I was like, man, this guy's it.
What the highlight that you shared in the Discord the other night there, when he's just so quick with that quick release 3 and stuff like that. He looks like
but it wasn't.
Oh, okay, it wasn't you, but whoever shared it, like he's just got that sweet little quick release 3, good handling, yeah. But then he can also play the 5. It's just it's fun as fuck, man.
Yeah, dude, really he's awesome.
Like it. Yeah. Obviously not the greatest matchup in the world here, but we just saw it last night, and he just played through it last night, and he just did it without Rudy Gobert last night. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother asking you anyone else on this one with the T-Wolves. Yeah, I mean Terrence Shannon and Rob Dillingham and these guys have been playing, but they're not fantasy viable on our site right now. Okay, let's move on, dude. We got Blazers and Jazz, as you mentioned, a whole bunch of Jazz rule-outs. I'll run those down in half a second, but this is a 232 by way of the Blazers. Road favorites, 6.5. I did see in the chat here that my guy, Yeti, Walt Disney World Yeti Everest, was going to the game tonight for the low price of 17 beans, $17 in the lower bowl. Holy smokes. I'd be going every night. That's unbelievable. That's good. Enjoy that ball game.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, that's good, clean fun. To go see Donovan Clingan clean the glass. Are you kidding me? I'd pay at least $18 to watch that.
Oh my god, Keontae George.
Oh my goodness, so much fun is gonna happen tonight. I low-key liked this game early in the day there, Nez. No DeAndre Ayton and no Time Lord had me gravitating towards Klingon as a click that nobody else was clicking in the last round. We've talked about how when the minutes spike, the rates are so nice that if you just go box score watching and see the games in which, he gets 4 to 8 extra minutes, how much higher his box scores are in terms of fantasy points. Pretty wild. And then the Jazz have done their we rule out everybody. Collins, Walker Kessler, Laurie Markkinen, Colin Sexton, and Jordan Clarkson have all been ruled out this evening. So we're anticipating a starting group of like Collier and I don't know, Keontae George, you'd assume, but they do like to use them just off the bench, but at least the minutes will be really safe. Imagine we get like Filipkowski and Sensabaugh, and they can only run like 9 deep this evening. So there's going to be lots of minutes for assumingly George and Collier in particular, but then some of the other ones. Maybe let's just talk about the Jazz side first and what you're interested in there.
Well, 2 players. It's Keontae George and Isaiah Collier. That's it. That's all. Keontae George might shoot 30 shots tonight. I mean, it's just very much in play. He is going to shoot all that he can handle. He's going to have the time of his life. Cannot wait for it. Definitely up there. For number 1 swap for me.
Okay.
Collier. It's tough because he's like a playmaker, so it would be nice if he had more shooters around him to convert these assists. But he handles the ball quite a bit, and I like Collier. He can play, man. He's a good player, so he's going to see as many minutes as he can handle, I think. So very much liking Collier tonight as well.
Okay, let's. This dovetails with a question that just rolled through in the chat. What are we swapping the Kawhi for? You originally said Andrew Wiggins would be really high for you. Do you like Keontae George more than Andrew Wiggins this evening for swap potential?
I think a lot of people, I think most people, like 90% of people will have Keontae George ahead of Andrew Wiggins.
Okay.
I don't think I will.
All right. Cool. Respect it, dude. Here comes we'll get to the other side of the ball game here. Here comes the DVP stuff with Toumani Camara. Talks these, this is I'm trying to think of a clever way to say P-jail with Toumani, but it's pretty hard to Toumani prison. I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing, guys. But on the other side here, dude, I was surprised that Klingon didn't have a higher ADP. Maybe it's because he has kicked people in the genital region the last couple times in which we tried to get ahead of this. But now we know that both Time Lord and Ayton are going to be out, and we know that Walker Kessler on the other side and John Collins on the other side are going to be out. It felt like a decent spot to get ahead on Klingon to me. Toumani Camara's box scores look pretty nice the last couple times out, north of 40 points both of those times, kind of coming at the expense of Denny Avdia. Simons and Grant both flirting with 30 fantasy points in recent memory. Any love for any of these Blazers? They're basically all available in the last round. I do notice Simons and Camara going the most of the bunch, but usually one Blazer goes every draft.
Yeah, Kamara's been hooping, man. Good player. How about this for a feel free to reject it. Solitary confinement.
Ooh,
Kamara.
Not bad. Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
is that something? Or are we cooking?
That's pretty nice.
Okay.
Guantanamo Bay. Not bad.
We're trying.
We're getting there.
Prison. Someone throw your prison complex nicknames for Toumani Camara.
There's a Toumani tsunami something there. There's something there.
Yeah. Overwhelming. Swarm all over you. Can't escape them.
While eating salami.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah, dude, Blazers. Denny and Simons. I like Simons more than Denny. And I like Simons and Denny more than Toumani. But Toumani, last 2 games, 45 and 48. Pretty cool. Good player. Man, Klingon, if I didn't have access to pick'ems and nobody did, like I would love Klingon today. This is what we want. No bigs against the Jazz. Should have 1,000,000% Klingon today, but I have like no Klingon right now because his pick'ems don't look good. But I don't know. I just don't think I should care.
No, you shouldn't, because to borrow a phrase from our guy Rinpack from Friday's show, there is we're looking for right tail outcomes, and who provides right tail outcomes with 32 minutes, quite like Klingon in the last round.
I guess it's just a matter of like, will he get those minutes? Because I know this is only a 7-point spread here. It does feel like the Blazers are going to absolutely demolish the Jazz. I mean, like, I just don't think that for whatever reason, the public, Vegas, what have you, is properly, pricing these Blazers. They're going to crush the Jazz. So I'm worried that Klingon's not going to play enough because, you look at the box scores, barely played 20 minutes against the Hornets. Well, they were up 70 points on the Hornets. So you're not going to play that much whenever you are embarrassing a fellow NBA team, especially when you're as big as an injury prone as Klingon. I just want to I need to not have zero Klingon. That's my goal. Just don't have zero. But how small are the Jazz going to play that it doesn't even necessitate him being on the court? Is really my question.
Yeah, can you run like some Porter at the 5 units or something like that, and you dictate size kind of deal
for the Jazz?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, because it's like who Micah Potter. He didn't even play the last 2 games, so he's probably going to play tonight.
Oh yeah, I said Potter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, but like, man, it's just like all those things I said at the beginning considered, it makes me really want to play him. I don't know. Like I said, not zero, not a ton.
I have no idea what the Jazz starting lineup's going to look like tonight.
Will they even start Keontae?
I don't know.
Because they hate starting Keontae.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't start last game, and he still made it rain.
I guarantee Collier starts. That's it.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
No doubt.
That's all I got. That's all I got for you, man.
I mean, I think they'll start Juzang.
Yes, I wouldn't even guarantee that. Sensible would be my confidence interval.
Keontae George, Kyle Filipowski.
Yeah.
Sensible, Svi, Juzang.
Well, you missed Collier.
I started Collier. I thought I started Collier.
You started George. But okay. So you have George coming off the bench.
Yeah, just because they love six-man George. They probably won't. George is still a great pick.
So you think they start Svi then? Yeah, I mean Svi. Yeah. I think confidence interval for starting. I think they start KJ Martin, dude. Like, I don't know, but I think they start KJ Martin. I think they start Sensible. I think they start Collier. And then I don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
Filipowski at the 5. I don't know. And then Svi or Johnny Uzang at the 4.
It's a joke.
Don't know. Yeah, it's a
how is this team 7-point? How's this team 7-point dogs, man?
Right. Yeah.
Just think that's very bad.
Yeah. This is the question everybody wants. Klingon over Simons. You only swap one of them. Absolutely. We're shooting the moon. Right tail outcomes. Yeah. Yeah, who knows? They might just fuck around and start Springer and Cody Williams. Like, I mean, you probably should be playing Cody Williams. Like, just see what you got. All right. That was pretty good. Oh, Tomb Raider. Alcamara Traz. Tumani Clampara. That's pretty good. Clamps down. Putting the clamps down. Yeah, you guys cooked. You guys cooked.
That's funny.
All right. All right, Nez. Let's move on to the late night hammer here. The last game on the slate. That is the Hornets and the Kings here. We have everybody that you would expect for the Kings. Kings are 12.5-point Favorites at home, a 232 total there in that one. Pulling up the injury report here. We have both submitted? Question mark. I see one submission. I don't see the Sacramento side yet. I see Trey Mann out. I see Brandon Miller out, Josh Okogie out, and Mark Williams out there. And then obviously Grant Williams, who's done for the year, out as well. So Hornets basically just have Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball going in the first 2 rounds. LaMelo Ball goes at the turn and then sometimes slides. We had that conversation earlier. What's the appropriate price point for you on Melo and Bridges? And is there any other Hornet you can get to this evening? Because you know I want to click Nurk in the last round today.
I know, but you should. I mean, we still have diabetes to worry about.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, Diabates can hoop, but they've been starting Nurk over him in these situations where Mark Dub's been out. And when Nurk gets going early, like he's kind of like Joe Val, where he's just a threat for like a triple dub, like with good rates quickly.
I thought Nurkic was going to look so good in this spot. I thought he was going to look so good. And then you can't even get a 20 PRA on the guy. Like no respect. So maybe it's just a pick 'em play for us today because he just seems really tough to get to in drafts.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's a little too thin for the drafts. What do you think about the Ball ADP and I guess we had that conversation. Sorry. The Bridges ADP.
It's too rich. He falls quite a bit, so you can get him when he falls, which is nice.
Okay, what is a good stopgap for him? Is it with this Vooch grouping, or where would you take him?
Like right before Vooch.
Okay, sounds good to me. You got him about 4 spots lower. Our guy Keith telling us that Nurk assists has been a print fest. We'll take a look at that in a minute there. Going back to the previous game, Justin saying that the Blazers open as -1 on the redacted books. Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. Huh. Pendulum done swung. Okay, let's go to the King side, dude. Let me give it a refresh here on the injury report. I'm not seeing a King's submission.
I didn't see it either.
Okay. Just confirming, just making sure. Okay. Not anticipating any funny business there, but yeah, never know. They need wins right now. We got Sabonis, Levine, DeRozan, and Monk going in almost every single draft. This is kind of like the conversations in which we have about Cleveland most days, where it's like, yep, this looks kind of pace up. Yep, they're playing a bad team. Yep, they're at home and they're big ass favorites. I have no idea which one I want to click on,
Yeah, evergreen, mm-hmm. Man. They're really tough. That said, I think they're all good picks. You just got to mix and match, dude. It's like Monk. I it would not like. I think Monk is probably the best pick because he's the cheapest.
Right.
But these guys are all going to see the floor like a ton. So
Monk is always seems to be the one that projects the best for me when I get closer to lock and I mix in the unabated stuff and I get that sort of stuff. And I've just gotten him wrong consistently in recent memory. Like he hasn't had the big outlier pop offs. He had the Pels game where he gets up to 42 minutes, 46 fantasy, but he's like just kind of been quite middling. And then like DeRozan is the same, but then pops off in these isolated ones. And it's just, that the mean projection is going to be pretty safe for all 3 of these guys. And then it's just like, which one is going to be the 50 ball on a given night? Because you see they basically never overlap between those 3 there.
Yeah. And this is a pretty big spread as well. Could be You know, they're in Sacramento, John. You could be hearing the announcer yelling Keegan, and then you get the crowd Murray. Whenever you get those Keegan Murray 3 balls, could it be? Could it be Keegan Murray night? I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
That's the problem. That's the problem with this team, man. We had a Keon Ellis night a couple weeks ago too. I guess it was last week. We had a Keon Ellis night too mixed in there. So it just, I never know with this team.
I know. I will say, like, LaVine, if you want to use the words of Rin Pack, go for the Rin Pack right tail. I mean, LaVine, very, very, very strong right tail outcomes because he can just take every single shot if he gets going.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, like he's not the deferring type once he gets hot, right?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, and these games mean a lot for the Kings. The Kings, I'll just note, I'm looking back at like a competitive-ish game. There's a little bit of blowout run in this one against the Warriors the other night. They ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 prior to blowout run, and then they mixed in the blowout run. Guys, nice to see Markelle Fultz back in the league. Good UW boy. Hopefully he can stick around for a bit there after so many for so long. His jumper was broken and whatever, but he played almost 10 minutes that night. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. We just know that Keon Ellis is going to be first up. Joe Val's going to get some backup 5 run for 15 minutes, and Jake LaRavia is going to get 15 or 16. The starters are going to run north of 30 if this stays competitive. So I don't know. Maybe it's a spot you correlate. Like maybe the Kings, maybe the key to the Kings here, Nez, is that you correlate their big starter minutes with someone on the other side keeping in game environment tight enough for minutes to matter.
Yeah, so like do some run backs. Like if you're taking LaMelo, taking Bridges.
Yeah, take Monk in the last round. That's a
or
slight
if you have
boost
Sabonis,
for you.
like take Bridges or any sort of mix and matching with the I think that actually checks out.
Yeah, like because what I'm seeing when I'm just going through the time machine right now, and I'm going through, just even if you look at the box scores and stuff, like there's obviously, so this isn't any profound insight to anyone who is here every single day. It's just like obviously the outputs are so heavily correlated towards the minutes they're playing, right? And those games in which they're close, like this Pelicans game, you get LaVine up to 45 and he gets 55 fantasy points. You get Monk in that same game environment, 42, he gets 46. Sabonis in that one, he gets 42, he gets 58. Like they're all positively correlated when the starters run big minutes. So maybe the key to us playing the Kings is like you play 2 as a run back off of Ball, or you play 2 off of Bridges, or you play Sabonis, LaVine, and then you play Nurk in the last round, or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you for sure.
Okay. That's it, dog. That was all of the games. Let's rip 2 drafts and rip a pick'em, and we'll be back in a bit to do some baseball related stuff for the Membies only there. I'm going to hop in here, Nez, and I'm going to ask you as I do so, anyone else that we should be getting to, that we should be boosting up, that we didn't discuss, and or you just want to get off your chest to double down on?
No, I pretty much covered it, man, as far as like the guys that I like.
Okay. Yeah, who do you think your highest exposed player is going to be?
Well, I don't know if anybody will get higher than Kawhi and Kessler for me, but hopefully.
Okay, so those were your big stands early, and they've kind of broken the wrong way.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, you get some swaps, and the price tags were relatively affordable, right? Like, because the price tags were round 5, tail end of round 5, a little bit of Kawhi slipping to 6 last night, that sort of deal. So
not the end of the world, but got a lot of them. We'll see if I can get an update here. I did 104 in the main so far, and saving those last 46 for hoping that we get the maxi game time decision, so I can try to get some cheaper maxi.
Okay. Sounds good. We roll the 103 in this one. The usual suspects run off first there in Joker and SGA. This is the Cade spot. Or we could do the, as you alluded to, if Maxi plays, he would be your number 3 kind of one. But we could push it here.
I'd go Cade.
Sounds good to me. Cade be hooping.
He's got it, man. Mm-hmm. He's got it going on right now. And they got a little bit of juice too in the Pistons. I'm getting a lot of Pistons social media content popping up on my my Twitter feeds and my scroll feeds, and Beasley's bringing some good vibes. Tobias Harris bringing some good vibes. These guys are dancing in the tunnel. They know they're good. They've got confidence right now.
I like it.
It's on the rise, man.
Man.
The Lions helped give these guys some confidence.
It's a city-based narrative.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
It is. And they heard the comment about how no one's filling the barn.
Well, I'm not sure anyone's watching this show, but
oh, they are. Cade Cunningham's watching it right now.
Melo almost falls back to us there. Maxi, I imagine this is going to be Hero for you because you said Hero was the end of that kind of tier.
Yeah, if you wanted to go Hallie, which I know you would never, you could. But no, Hero just is the better projecting player.
Okay.
Like, in my opinion, no question.
Yeah, I like the spot better, like at Atlanta there for like tempo and stuff. Though the Denver one's not far behind, and it is the highest total game on the slate there. But never Hallie, even if TJ McConnell can't go this evening. I have such a hard time clicking Hallie's name. I
get it.
Second night of a back-to-back Hallie, like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I just,
at least he slept in his own bed.
That's a great point.
Giddey, J-Dub, Naz Reid, those were kind of some of the guys you liked. You said Jamal, but is that only a paired with Joker thing?
I like Jamal still. Let's push up Naz Reid. How many people are taking Naz Reid with these two guys? That's probably not happening very much.
Yeah, I think the only way in which it would happen is earlier drafts where he fell back to 22 because he is ADP 20. So, maybe he fell back earlier, but his ADP has trended from high to low, not low to high. That makes sense.
That's true. That is very true. I'm laughing because this comment we just got.
Mm-hmm.
Embiid should have to give away all of his money. Dude simply never plays.
I mean, it's just the stats about him never playing basketball are actually insane. Like he's basically
how much of that is his fault?
I don't know. Some portion of it.
I mean, dude, how is he the first big guy to be chronically hurt?
Right.
Like he's no one before him has ever been hurt. He's what would happen if Greg Oden could make it.
Right. Yeah.
He would have been chronically hurt.
Right. Yeah, you're
so big.
Yeah, you're just not meant to be plus 7 feet plus 240 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
it's just a hilarious statement. He should have to give away all of his money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 5'10", 205, maybe 5'11" on a good day, and I have bad knees. This guy's lugging around, an extra foot or extra 2 feet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Dyson comes back to us. I think we should probably take it from a combo standpoint.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm thinking of a target on the other side. We will see here. I mean, it's interesting how we kind of poo-poo the long, slender body type and then be like, he's got to put on some muscle. He's too frail for the league. And then the guys that do wind up putting on muscle, then they break down faster. Like, the guys that I think Greg Oden's a great example. Like, he was shredded at Ohio State, right? Like, he was shredded.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like he was 30.
I just always remember him being just a big guy.
Right. Like, but he looked like a grown ass man at age 20, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't think of that as like cut. Just
like
he looked weathered from the jump.
I think we're probably both going to be in agreement here that this is keynote time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did Paul George go in this draft? Paul George. So Respook's taking Paul George at 20. If that's Paul George's new ADP, I'm not sure I want him second night of a back-to-back after playing 40.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have too much of pick 20 Paul George.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Oh, here you go. This ties in perfectly. Trivia for you guys. How many games over 50 fantasy points on Underdog do you think Paul George has this season? I'm going to say 1.
Yeah, I think 1. I know he has 1.
Yeah, I vaguely remember 1, but I do remember like the nights that we pushed him up to like pick 13 or made him priority swap. I do remember that. Wow, 3. Okay. Those must have been. And now, okay, Justin, if you're looking at it right now, how many of those were without Maxey and without Embiid? That would be very interesting.
3 without Embiid. Definitely without Embiid.
Very interesting stuff. Isaiah Collier to Nick coming in there. He does the Malik Monk thing there. Hartenstein now part of the player pool for Respooked. Miles Turner there. Nez, I'm going to say it. Well, I would hear you out if you wanted to do Wiggins and do a game environment stack because you liked that one. I was going to say let's take Quentin Grimes or let's take Donovan Clingan.
Let's take Clingan.
Let's do it. We got the keynote on one side. We run it back with Donovan Clingan on the other side. Look at those box scores. 5 minutes, 17 fantasy points. 8 minutes, 10 minutes, all this sort of BS. And then all of a sudden he plays 32.
I just feel like he should be at 22.5 PRA. He's at 18.5. I think he should be at 22.
5 minutes. Then he plays 21 back-to-back games versus Denver there. We can go back and look what the 5 rotation was for the Denver game there as we rip another draft here. That'd be interesting. That team was, I just clicked out of it. Cade, Hero, Nas Reed flipped the board. Dyson Daniels falls back to us. We push up Keynote in the 5th round. Donovan Clingan in the last round.
I think I forgot every single pick we made. I would not have been able to do that.
Yeah, when you spend years and years managing 12 tables at a time, Nez, you don't forget.
I draft 8 teams at a time, and I don't even know.
I think 8 teams at a time is harder. I would say that. You know why? Because there's so much overlap in the player pool. Like you forget where you were at on a given one, right?
I'm a master of the active tab now.
Okay. I see you.
Like the update to the auto draft no plane was like life changing. That's just been incredible. You know,
yeah.
8's my max, but I do 8, and then like I'm unfortunately a clock bleeder, but just queue up onto the next one. I can do that like no problem.
Yeah, that's great. PC drafter now. The hand drafters on the phone shitters are done now. SGA for us here, Nez.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here you go. Okay, so 2 with Maxey, no Embiid, and then 1 with Embiid, no Maxey.
Okay.
There you go. And 2 of them were against the Hornets. Ayton about to be a Laker this offseason. I mean, they need a 5. I thought they were going to get fucking bailed out. I was so mad after the Mark Williams stuff. Like, at least they had to take a shot on Mark Williams and give up a pretty penny for it, right? I was so mad that they were going to get bailed out by like a cut candidate, Clint Capella or something like that.
I thought for sure they would.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't. Okay, I'm going back to the time machine here. Do you remember what dates those Denver games? I guess I should just Control F. That would be way too intelligent for your boy, huh? Okay, so Portland blew the doors off of them. It was a back-to-back. Second night was close. Portland blew the doors, Denver blew the doors off them the first night. So that's why it was 10 minutes fewer in the first game. Okay. There was Ayton in the first game, and Klingon still played 21 minutes.
Did Ayton get hurt? He gets hurt in one of those games, I think.
Okay. This is Tyrese as a tier break for you?
Yeah, or Bam.
Let's see Holly. I'm fine with it. Maxi almost falling all the way back to us. So there's the volatility in the Q tag today that you get in here with a bunch of red Badgers, including Jay Baconator, and he still falls all the way back to almost 10 there. Harden up at 3 there. So JT McKenzie, dog bowl participant, taking a stand. Jamal paired with Joker. Bam goes. That leaves us with the Bridges decision or Zubac without the other guys. J-Dub, who do you like, Nez?
Let's do Zoobs.
All right. I'm good with it. Zoobs has been playing really well this year.
Yeah, you should play a ton of minutes. They got Duran on that other end, and not a lot of bodies available for a good lineup.
Sounds good. Ayton gets hurt in the middle of the third quarter, and Klingon / Delano Banton close out the game on night 1. Second night of the back-to-back, which was closer, which Ayton was out for. Time Lord was also out for, and they only ran 9 because it was closer. And Klingon played 31, third highest on the team, fourth highest on the team. Closed. Yeah. That's what we need tonight. We need tonight to play to the spread, which is, 6.5, probably way more reasonable than those Nuggets games would have been. And that's the last good sample size where he was a starter and nobody else was behind him, i.e. Ayton and Time Lord.
Yeah, and then you look at the pick'ems and they're just not good. And I'm like, come on. I think that's just I think I'm having the wrong takeaways as opposed to let's smash these pick'ems rather than let's fade in drafts. I think that needs to be the thought process from myself.
There is one glaring difference here. No Scoot and no Jeremy Grant in this lineup that night. Assume we're going to have both tonight. Is this a palatable price tag for the push-up Paul George here?
Yeah, 23 feels fine, and we'll save Nick from himself.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the stopgap for me. Paul George at 23, he's going to project way higher than this the moment we get officially ruled out Embiid. And then if you get ruled out Maxey as well, what is PG? He's probably up in this mellow tier.
Oh yeah, I mean, if that were to take place,
yeah. Our guy Nick likes Monk. I would throw my hat in the ring to do the George thing again, dude.
Keynote here, yeah, I've seen Keynote go 4-5 often.
Right. We're gonna do the classic George stack: SGA, Hallie, Zubac, George, and George. And then never PG. Okay, Nez, this is a good question for you. Is Naz Reid at pick 13 too soon, or is that a perfect Skoliev down, like flip the board, teamed up with Joker and Miles Bridges? If my inclination is correct here, Naz Reid is going to be paired with that combo a decent amount, more so than the other side of the board, or more so than the middle side of the board, because that's where he started in terms of ADP last night.
Yeah, but I feel like he got corrected very, very quickly.
Okay, perfect. So maybe it is a good place now?
I would do it. I mean, dude, Nas, like what I don't understand about this Naz Reid price, this slate, like he should be going higher on this slate than he did last slate. And then last slate, he was going higher than this slate.
Okay.
But this slate, he's a better pick. It just doesn't it just like doesn't make sense.
It doesn't compute. Yeah.
It's like the Slappies got tired of it or something. I don't really understand. Okay. I just put an absolute
I got you.
In the private chat.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Don't worry, dog. I got you. Whole bunch of 30% boosts available in the Pick'em lobby today, guys. There's a tennis one. There's college basketball, both men's and women's. There's a FIFA. There's a soccer one. There's a NHL only one, all available for the next 8 hours. This is pretty crazy. Wiggins goes there. So JT McKenzie is in lockstep with you. We could think about another Philadelphia guy. Jaden McDaniels is here. Simons. We could do the Klingon thing again.
I take Simons quite a bit.
Let's fucking do it again, dude. Let's show these nerds what's up.
All right, let's go. I mean,
these
games don't have to be hard. No bigs against the Jazz. Why don't people want the guy that can pull down 20 boards and 5 stocks?
They literally have no bigs on either side of the ball other than this one dude who can ball. I love it.
What's the problem?
I love it. All right, Nez. I kind of ran down that team, same as the last team, but with the last round pick there. Let's do this. Nez has cooked something up already behind closed doors. Double doubles for days out here. Classic Tim Hortons order, the double double.
Hey, we're in America, buddy. That's your classic In-N-Out burger.
That's Dunkin' Donuts.
America does not run on Dunkin'. Only Boston runs on Dunkin'.
That's funny. All right. Klingon double-double. Naz Reid double-double. Yusuf Nurkic double-double. This is a 35x. All sorts of fun. I'm gonna drop that one in the
$7
chat.
for 3 cents out here.
That is all sorts of fun. That is NFA. That is, don't call it an L word, but that is all sorts of fun. That is a
Nurk and Klingon double doubles are just that's why God gave us the dog app. And brother, I was saying for the longest time that Nurk PRA was bad. It was at 17.5 for like ever, 19.5. It's going up. All right. Nurk is becoming more and more draftable as the day goes on.
Okay. I like it. I'm there. What's the difference in taking Nurk and Klingon in the last round there? Like, it's a similar thesis.
They look like very similar. They look very similar.
It's just the high rates guys that can get it. Our guy Xerxes dropping by here. He's telling us Melo's threes is simply a must. I mean, I don't know.
Is gonna drop by and give us the alpha?
I think we got to mix it in. We got to pay respect to that one. I'm seeing Nurk points and assists, Edwards points, Jamal Murray fantasy points.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I need something that you are. We need one play. We need one play from the chat. You give us an entire pick'em. I'm sorry. That I'm getting a little skeptical. But Mellow tray ball.
All right, Mellow tray ball. That's first one going in. Oh, LaMelo. Let's see what we're working with here. 3-pointers made.
We got 2 Khalil Wares in the chat.
Okay.
I think double Ware looks good. Green check.
Okay, that's a nice little 3Xer. You know what I mean? Like that's like we're not getting carried away just yet. We're just gonna lock that one in, okay, Nez? Like we're just gonna go like, that's 2. And then we can run it back.
All right, yeah.
Okay, we got those 2 locked in there. Did I share that?
No.
Make sure, I'm going to send it to you in the private chat and you can click that and make sure.
Thank you.
Did I share the same one twice? I think I did. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you are an idiot. I mean, yeah, you did share it twice.
I mean, confirmed idiot. Damn it, I have to do it from mobile. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't play it yet, or at least
okay.
Yeah. Do it again.
Guys, I'm gonna come back and do the behind the paywall one where we do a little baseball and we'll talk about the news as it trickles in at lock. I'm not playing a ton of hoops today, so I will talk through it as it drops in while we're talking baseball here in about 2 hours time. I think I scheduled it for like 5:30 Eastern, something like that. So I'm going to come back and do that for the Membies, and I will do some unabated stuff then for the Membies there. But I'm looking at market-based projections on unabated right now. Obviously, extreme volatility in 3-pointers, something like that. Nick Smith, though, showing a nice little edge right now. Cam Johnson showing a little bit of an edge. Filipowski as the lowers, just playing it as if he doesn't start or just doesn't play well when he does start.
Filipowski is a 25.5 PRA.
Yeah, they think he's going to start at the 5 tonight.
I mean, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. Nothing crazy popping here, Nez, for me.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I think unabated though. I got a feeling on a day like today with all of these moving parts. Unabated usually has some really sharp shit. Whenever there's like so many moving parts like this, they typically have at least like 1 or 2 that have like massive edges based on their projections. So I'm sure before your dinger draft behind the paywall, we can maybe get something up for the Membies.
Yeah, that sounds ideal to me. Wow, man, Paul George PRA right now, like only 28.5.
Dude, so here's the thing, John. You got to be careful. Mm-hmm. Only. This was at like 23.5 for the last like 2 weeks. So this is like, oh yeah, wheels up, Paul George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Comparatively. But like, if you just compare it to some 6th rounders that aren't getting drafted that we just talked about, like what's Nurk's at? Like 20. That's not like crazy, I guess. Who did we just talk about? Filipowski? 25.5. Wow. Maybe that just screamed lower season.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Right? Yeah. The Murray one, 4 points, underdog points. All right.
So I'm assuming he means the higher.
Yeah. Only 35.
Wow, they really like Jamal, huh? And I kind of agree with what Nick is saying. I mean, that's just objective that Paul George getting some more stock. So maybe do Paul George like fantasy points.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to just do it at all, which is fair.
I was thinking about Keynote.
Okay.
I was like,
so he's been interesting. 30.5 PRA, and then like I guess he's expected to get a lot of turnovers. So the fantasy points, you normally for a 30.5 PRA see like much greater fantasy point pick'ems.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, let's do this, dude.
All right.
Locking this bad boy in. Don't call it an L word, but I am locking the picks in.
Yes.
We got a lower on that Filipkowski one. We ran it back with Xerxes, LaMelo Ball, Khalil Ware there for the double-double. A little scared about the probable tag, but should be fine this evening. And then Jamal and Keynote, courtesy of the chat, both liking that one.
You want to private chat me there too, partner?
Yep, will do.
I'm blasting off today. I got a lot of volume in the pick'em lobby. We're having a lot of fun on this NBA slate. Let me tell you.
So PG, we could do fantasy points because of the stocks. Nothing up for Cody Williams. I bet you they're waiting on starting lineup for that. I'll take a look at Utah in half second here.
Yeah.
KJ Martin, higher on the 16.5 PRA, just popped in market base, but also correlation off the Filipkowski. So we could do a Jazz one that's similar. Okay, I got this.
Okay.
Let's see Utah real quick here. Okay, this is going to be fun. We're going to do Klingon double-double.
Yes.
Starting it off with a bang. Okay?
Yeah.
Then we're going to juxtapose that to Filipkowski lower, coupled with the KJ Martin higher, which is popping on the market-based stuff there.
Just those three?
Just those three.
All right, cool.
Just another way of spreading the peanut butter in a different direction. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to get maxed out on this Klingon double-double. I can feel it. I probably got like one more pick'em left.
We sit here for an hour with each other and just tell each other a story that we both want to hear. And then we're like, yeah, that's a fucking good story. That's a believable story. That's a true story.
If you guys ever get it, I mean, like, I'm so jealous that I'm not going to be in San Diego. If you guys hang with John pregame, this is what it's going to be like. You guys are just going to be sitting around, pick'em lobby pulled up. Dude, listen, hear me out here. And then blasted another one. Like, oh, dude, what if we do this? Let's slide. Blasted. And you guys are just going to have so many pick'ems running for the dog bowl. It's going to be insane.
Well, there's something beautiful about, I've talked about this before, how like when, you know, growing up doing the gambling thing, right? Like doing the poker thing for so long and then hanging out with normie friends, right? Like guys that weren't in those circles and that sort of thing, where their mood would genuinely be affected by wins and losses. So pooling wins is always an amazing thing, and pooling losses is always an amazing thing because like you are shared in the sweat experience and the same venture together. So in a live sweat environment like the dog bowl, well, everybody's going to be on peaks and valleys because one guy's going to be winning and the other guy's going to be, it's zero sum, right? It all comes at the expense of a peer as who's going to win. So as long as we're all in the shared unison of like a handful of pick'ems as well, it's fun for everyone, right? So it's like the rooting interests become like aligned where it's like, let the chips fall where they may with the draft, but then let's win as a community with the pick'ems. Like that's what I love about it. Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. Great common thing for everybody to do when hanging out. I wanted to ask you a random question here. I didn't mention it. I said this. I went on stream with PPR Tyler last week and told a story about how I was at a high school basketball game, my cousin's high school basketball game. Great basketball. They had a sophomore on his team, and because they don't have any seniors, this is like a new school, and so they don't have any. There's no seniors in this season. So young team, but they're nice. Like they got this sophomore. He's like 6'2", skits buckets like crazy, man. It was so sick. And all the kids there, they do the Jalen Brunson 3-point celebration. So, you know, they hit a three and they celebrate way more. I feel like than they used to these days. The kids get able to play. What would be your 3-point celebration if you were in high school today?
Ooh,
hooping.
Dude, that's good. That's good.
Mine.
Okay, give me yours and I'll think about it for a half second.
Mine would be J-Dub.
What's J-Dub do?
He just he does this, and I don't quite understand it.
All right,
but he does. That's sweet. That's sweet.
I mean, I do love what Ant does. I don't know if it's good or not, but the side pistols. the three like to the side
underneath.
pistols.
Yeah, so you can't tell it's a gun. You just
like that one's really good. I honestly like dating myself slightly. I did love the Harden, cooking it in the bowl thing. I did used to love that.
Yeah, a little wrist work.
Yeah, that was good for a long time too. I don't know. I would also be like a premature turn guy, and I would be a long. I'm
never following my shot.
yeah, never. And I would be a long hold guy too. Like I would gooseneck that shit, I would just like that. Like
Love it. Yeah, there's some good ones. The mellow's iconic with the 3 to the head.
Yeah, the 3 to the dome. Yeah, that's a good one. What's the Bridges one?
The Bridges, you're gonna like this. Chat won't know this. The Bridges actually came from the Padres. The Padres used to, like, when they would get on base, you hit an extra base hit, you would like go like they like hold up, they're pointing at their dugout and kind of move their head like that. That's what he does. And he said he got it from the Padres. He said he was watching baseball,
cool.
like the Padres, and so he's like, I'm gonna do that when I make threes. But he doesn't make threes anymore, so I don't know the last time he's done it.
It's because he jacked up his shot like Markelle Fultz. Yeah. Full circle callback. All right, let's end it there. Murray Arrow's good too. Murray Arrow's good. Brought the J.R. Smith to the 40-plus league. That's good, McCarrion. That's very good. I respect that. Oh, man. Just these guys that could straight hoop. Love it. All right, let's tie a bow on it there, Nez. I got to get some food in my stomach. Got to get this dog out and then come back and talk a little bit about what's happening in spring training and some stuff that's going to go down. I'll wait for the unabated projections to come out. I'll probably go live in an hour and a half's time. So if that's what I've set it to, I'll stick to that, guys. Okay. Yeah, an hour and a half from now. And it's only going to be like an hour leading up to lock. We'll talk about the news as it filters in while I talk about baseball and draft baseball kind of thing. So it'll be a nice little hybrid show for those of you in the drafting streets, but I will be drafting baseball and maybe mix a couple NBA at lock. I'll fill the $100 lobby and I'll fill is there a 250 today?
No, I don't think we're going to get that for the rest of the year.
Okay. Well,
I put it to rest.
If people need like the 25 or the 30 or the 100 filled, I'll jump in. How about that? Okay, cool. Nez, great show as always. A lot of fun there, dude. Yeah. Any final words for the people because you were going to be done for the day, my friend?
No, I will. I'll still see you in these last 46 lobbies, and yeah, best of luck, guys.
Love it,
dude.
Some
pick'ems too, by the way. We went ham today,
dude. I'm feeling good. About that Cleveland stuff.
Yeah.
We got the dance tomorrow. Reminder to everyone, Off It On the Clock is now moved to Tuesdays, and it's going to be a half hour earlier. So it's going to be right after the Swolecast. So it's going to be at 1:30 my time, which is 1:30 Eastern time. Yeah, 1:30 Eastern time. So tomorrow, I think we're going to tackle the dance streets, which I know Nez has been heavily in. I know the Discord is popping off talking about the playoff format and just what the best plays and undervalued ADPs are right now. So we'll do a full deep dive on that. I admittedly been really focused on baseball and daily basketball. Haven't been in the dances yet, so I'm going to do a couple this afternoon as well to get my footing, and then I'm sure I'll have some takes. But I think Nez will be taking the lead on that one in a decent way tomorrow. Outside of that, best of luck to everybody this evening. Another shout out to Magikarp, Best Ball Viper, and B Smurf, who were all top leaderboards last night there. And shout out to Xerxes for stopping on by there. Good partner of the company. All right. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. See you in an hour and a bit.